Thank you to Yanmar for bringing us this video series. Don't settle for less when you can have more. Yanmar's tractors are designed to work as hard as you do for a lifetime. Strengthen your dealership with Yanmar today.
An effective job description will include these three things. We're going to have a title, the responsibilities that are included for this job, and the salary range. You know, when it comes to job descriptions, I want you to think about this in terms of sales. At the breakout session we did earlier where we were doing sales processes, the table I was seeing at, we were talking about the sales process specifically. And one of the things that we talked about is the qualification process in sales. I'd like to propose that hiring is exactly the same. It's important that our job description qualifies or disqualifies people from the pot here. So that's what this is doing. When we have good information for the title, the responsibilities, and the salary range, we are going to automatically qualify or disqualify people from the position, saving you your time and your money and your ability to do other things. Because let's just be real for a second. When you have an Indeed ad or whatever you're using right now for finding and hiring employees come in, and you get 200 different job resumes coming through, who wants to spend the time looking through those and trying to figure out the best fit for your dealership? That's a lot of work. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of energy. So whatever we can do to get ahead of this and make sure that we are qualifying people and having them self-qualify or dequalify, the better it is for us. And so that's why we encourage including all of these things. Okay, so let's talk about for just a second, why does the job title matter? I think for a few reasons the job title matters, but it goes back to qualifying or disqualifying. We are in industries where we all understand the terminology. Are you aware of that? Like the industries that we are in here today all have very specific terminology. And sometimes the best place we can find employees is outside of this industry where they don't actually have the same lingo as us. Would you all agree? Some of the best hires that we have seen are from outside the industry. And so we have to be careful as we are making titles for these jobs that we're not just pigeonholing ourselves into a very small market with a very small group of people that we can do. And so as we are developing job titles, it's important that we make sure that it applies to a bigger subset of the population that we're trying to reach. We'll walk through this a little bit more in detail soon. But I think this is a really important piece of this for us. So we're going to go through for just a second, and we are going to, well, one other quick thing on job descriptions. As you're coming up with job descriptions, I want you to look at other organizations that do a really good job with it. I'm sure that as you have tried to put out job descriptions and you've done all of your ads and all of these different things, you've seen some organizations that have really hit it out of the park. Look at those job descriptions, use them as a template, and tweak them so that it applies to your organization as a whole. So I think that's something else we've got to think of. We can't sit here and pigeonhole ourselves into a small industry where everybody's struggling to find techs, right? Like, how many of you are struggling right now to find technicians for your shop, right? How many of you are struggling trying to find qualified parts people for your parts department? Everyone. And so we have to find a way to break out of this small little section we have and get into the bigger group as a whole. Okay, so we're going to do three different things that we need to make sure our job descriptions are. We're going to make sure we have a conversation about the responsibilities in regards to job descriptions. We're going to make sure that we have clarity, that our job descriptions are conversational and engaging, and that they're honest. Those are the three things that we want to make sure are in the responsibilities of our job descriptions, that we are providing clarity, they're conversational and engaging, and that they're honest. if you turn to the next page, I believe it's page 19, we have a sample job description in there for you. We have every job description you could just about possibly need for a dealership in our dealer toolbox. If you don't have access to that dealer toolbox, if you would email Jim or Jeff, they can help get you the job descriptions that you need. But we have just about every job description you could need. Now, this is like a vanilla cake. Our job descriptions are a vanilla cake. We've got all the ingredients in there, but you've got to decide what kind of frosting you want on it, if you're going to add sprinkles, and if you're going to put birthday candles on it. Because Bob Baker, I know you like the birthday candles on your cakes, right? Yeah. So as you're doing this, we have all of these great templates for you, and they're yours to tweak and make your own. Okay, so let's go through this real quick together. I've got this job description on page 19, and we're looking for a service coordinator. And we're going to make sure that it checks all of these boxes, that we have clarity, it's conversational, engaging, and it's honest. So we have our general requirements at the top, right? We need to have the ability to lift and handle heavy loads of up to 70 pounds. Then there's a few others. We have our target responsibilities. What does it look like for a person in this position to succeed every single day? That should be in every job description. You're going to talk about the daily duties and responsibilities. So as we are continuing to clarify this is something we're going to use later down the line as we're talking about performance reviews and employee reviews. This is something that you're going to use. So as you continue to make out this process for your job descriptions, keep in mind, you're going to come back to this over and over again. This is not a one-time thing that you're going to do, but this is something that you're going to come back to over and over again. So, and then it's going to talk about our weekly duties and responsibilities. And we're going to talk about ways that they can continue to grow, right, and what we expect of them in that way. So, like I said, our job description, this is the nuts and bolts. Please, take our job descriptions and tweak them for your organization. When I talk about, I want a job description to be clear, I want somebody to know, if they walk into our dealership and they start tomorrow, what is it that I specifically expect of them? That's what I want to know. Next, I want to make sure it sounds like our organization. Later, we're going to be talking about culture, vision, and core values. All of those are buzzwords. I know, we'll dive into them a little deeper and see how it actually matters. But we have to make sure who we are as an organization is communicated through a job description, because we are constantly trying to get people to qualify or disqualify themselves. And we want it to be honest. We don't want to sugarcoat things here. We want things to be clear, concise, and honest. We were recently hiring someone to do our video editing and things, and one of the things that I had seen in an organization that we really love is that they had this phrase in there in their job description. It said, this person must be able to keep up with a high-speed, high-intensity leader and can make things look like they're going smoothly behind them. And I was like, you know what? That's what we need. We need somebody who can stay up with something that's constantly changing, that's constantly moving, and that can make things look seamless. So I don't know what it is for you, but I'm just saying, find other organizations that are doing a really great job at this, that you can say, you know what, that fits for me as well, and that is how we can make it work specifically for your dealership. So the next page, on page 20, if you turn to 20 with me, we've got our daily process, and this is something else I'd encourage you to do. Again, these are all on our dealer toolbox, and if you need them, just shoot Jim or Jeff an email. But I want to outline what my expectations of them and their daily schedule look like every single day. Sure, it may be changed when we're in the middle of season. Sure, it may be changed when things are slow and we have all of this preseason service special we're trying to do. But for the most part, 90% of your time, this is what we're expecting their daily job duties to do.